Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am here to share with you loads of eyeshadows. So I wanted to share with you everything that I'm panning in my collection right now, and today I'm going to start off with eyeshadows. In this kind of like mini series, I'm also going to do a get ready with me with all of the eyeshadows. I'm going to do palette bingo with all of the eyeshadows that I'm panning, and I'm also going to share with you the rest of the makeup that I'm panning. So excluding eyeshadows, I'm going to share with you everything else that I'm panning. So it's going to be 3 videos in the series all together, but today I'm going to focus on those eyeshadows. So before I jump into sharing with you everything that I'm panning right now, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you in the family. Let's jump into the video. So we of course have we have two palettes with eyeshadows where I'm panning the full palette, and the first one is very obvious, and that is my Panda palette, which is the Soft Glam palette from Anastasia. So this one currently looks like this. I'm not going to show you too much because I'm going to wait for my product pan update, but I'm panning everything in here. It has 14 shades from the start, but I have used up 3 of them. However, those 3 pans are now filled with Frankens, so this whole palette is being panned. So that is quite a few shades. It's a big focus mine, obviously, to try to finish as much as I can of this palette this year. So that is the first couple of shades, and again coming from a Panda palette. Next up for panning, I also have my current product level up palette, which is the Love Notes palette. I'm also of course panning everything in here. I have hit goals on a couple of shades in different capacities. I don't know if you remember what it looked like at my last update, but I have hit maybe a pan, and I also have hit my usage goal on a couple of shades. But currently in here I am panning every single thing because I need to reach for every single shade in here 5 times, and I also need to hit 5 pans. I'm actually wearing some of these shades today on my eyes. I'm also wearing a couple from my palette, well actually 2 shades from my Panda palette, and then this palette right here and a couple more. But yeah, these are the shades right here. So again, this is 20 shades, I believe. 20 shades in here also being panned. So the rest of the pans and eyeshadows that I'm panning are either individual singles or it's just like one single shade in a palette. So we're going to start off with 2 that is currently in my Expandos pans, which is a project that was created by Dora. So Fuchsia Soul, I will have her link down below. But first up we have this palette right here, which is the Amrisi palette from Anastasia, and currently I am panning the shade Barb in that project, and I want to use that one 5 times, so that is the next shade. And the second shade that I have in that project comes from the Through My Eyes palette with Colourpop. This was in collaboration with I Love Sarah E. And the shadow in here that I want to reach for 5 times is this shade right here called Euphoric, I believe. Yes, Euphoric. So that shade right there I'm also panning. The next eyeshadow that we have is one that is very, very, very close to being done, and that comes from my Gold Obsessions palette from Huda Beauty, and you might not even be able to see it in here originally because I'm currently panning the second shade in this palette, and hopefully you can see how I'm so close on that shade. I'm hoping to finish it up before the next update. This one is in my rolling product pan, so I'm hoping to finish this one up before that update. I'm guessing I might have like max 5 more uses, but probably less than that. I'm thinking maybe like 3 uses. We'll see. But hopefully I can get this one out, but currently it's still being panned. And while I'm talking about eyeshadows that is in my rolling project pan, we have 2 kind of individual potted things that is also in that project. So first up we have my Colourpop Super Shock shadow in the shade Amaze, which I'm also trying to finish. And this one has had some massive pan expansions since the last update. Not sure if you remember what it looks like, but this one is getting quite thin. I only have a little bit around the edges there. I might have to repress it again soon, but yeah, not much left in this product, which I'm happy to see. It's gonna take some more work, of course, but yeah, I'm happy where this one stands today, so that is the next shade. Then the other single eyeshadow that is in that project is my Burberry sheer eyeshadow in the shade Rosewood, which is currently my eyebrow powder. It's been my eyebrow powder for the whole year, but I'm trying to finish this one up that way, and again, I'm wearing it today as my brow powder. So that is the next shade. I have a couple kind of more single type of products. I'm gonna go through them in the products they're in. So first up we have my deco panning, where I'm panning 2 shadows at the moment. The first one is my Stila Magnificent Metal in the shade Metallic Peach. This is, oops, I almost dropped it. This is also one that I'm not trying to finish. I'm trying to finish it this year, but not in that project at the moment. But this one I need to use 50 times. And you can see I have some decent pan in here. And I'm hoping to get quite close to finishing it within those 50 uses, but I'm panning this one in my deco panning. The second eyeshadow that is in that project, by the way, as well, I forgot to mention, my deco panning was created by Emily and Max, so I'll also have her link down below. But the second shadow I'm trying to pan in there is this shadow right here, which comes from Cleona, and that is the shade Line of Queens, and I want to use that one. I believe it was 10 times or 15, I can't remember, but yeah, I'm trying to pan that shade there. And while I have this palette open right here, let's go through two shades that are in here in my Pandos eyeshadows. And the first one is this shadow right here called Queen, and this one comes from the Metropolis palette by Natasha Denona. I used to put it in here to be easier to use. I want to pan that one. I want to pan on that, by the way, or use it 15 times. And then we have another Cleona shadow right here called Crown Jewel, which also is in that project for either 15 uses or pan. We have one more single in that project, which is this one here coming from Shine by ST, and that is the shade Golden Girl. So that is the next shadow. I also remember, by the way, that I forgot to mention this one in my rolling pre pan, but I'm also trying to finish up this shade right here called Turbo Miyaka from Glam Shop, so that is the next shade. The final shadow that was in my Pandos eyeshadows at the moment comes from my Red Dragon palette from Odin's Eye in collaboration with Judy, and I'm trying to pan the shade Jade right there. So those are actually the majority of the things that I'm currently panning. I only have 3 more to go. And first up we have this one right here. And this is a single from Sydney Grace, and this is the shade Springtime. And the remaining 3 shadows I'm talking about are all in my project 10 uses, where I want to use everything 10 times, of course. And I always have 3 eyeshadows rolling in that project. So yeah, this is the first shade right there, again from Sydney Grace, and it's called Springtime. And then the last 2 shadows are also from Sydney Grace, and you have already seen them because they're in this palette right here, but it's the yellow here and the pink here. The yellow shade is called Geese Alléen. It's a matte, and then we have Time to Celebrate, which is more of a mauve tone. So again, I want to use both of those 10 times in my project 10 uses. And those are actually all of the eyeshadows that I'm currently panning. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and actually swatch out the color story of everything that I'm panning on my hand. It won't be with big swatches, but I just want to see what the overall color story is. So I'm going to go off camera, do that quickly, and I will show you what the overall color story that I'm currently panning is when it comes to eyeshadows. So that took a little bit of time, but I'm back, and this is the color story of everything that I'm panning. It is not completely in order or anything, but yeah, I mean kind of. So here we have my Panna palette, and all these pinks and purples are majority from the Love Notes palette. We have some like Panna's eyeshadows and bright 10 uses over here. Same up here. This is like my Cleona shadows, and then in the middle is the Sydney Grace Springtime shade. So yeah, a little bit of random swatches, but I just wanted to see like an overall color story of what I'm panning. And it's interesting because a lot of this is like neutrals or pinks, which are kind of new because again, my Panna palette and the Project Level Up palette, that takes up the majority, but I do have a couple of pops of colors as well. But yeah, that is everything that I'm currently panning when it comes to eyeshadows. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, I'm going to do 2 more installments of the series. I think tomorrow's video is going to be my palette bingo with these shades. So I'm going to randomize probably like 5-6 shades out of these to use, and I'm going to create a look with that. But yeah, that's going to be my next video, and then like I said, another video is coming up soon. It's going to be all of the makeup items that I'm panning, so not eyeshadows but everything else like base products, cheek products, lip products, everything like that. But I'm going to wrap up the video here. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I hope you guys are having an amazing day wherever you are, and I will catch you in my next one. Bye guys!